Listen to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. You can reach me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Although today, I'm not sure this is called a celebration or an obligation. It is tax day. Now, for most of us, we try to minimize our taxes. My friend Jay Kaplan, he maximizes his taxes. It's fun. We're just harassing Jay a little bit as I see that he is on the broadcast. But tax day 2019. And there's no correlation between Tax Day 2019 and National Take a Wild Guess Day. No correlation between those two at all. Yeah, there we go. Titanic Remembrance Day.
I got a bad feeling about this.
National Education and Sharing Day. I like that one. Glazed Spiral Ham Day. Having beaten anorexia, I think I would go with the glazed spiral ham. Not sure that I need to have that kosher or not. Unbelievable. Jay, October already. Yes, indeed, senor. National Glazed Spiral Ham. I think we'll stick with that one. Of course, I am a big fan of ham any way you can get it. So let's move on and check out what the markets are doing. I'm not sure if it's for us or to us today, but we will check them out anyway. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's been down most of the day today. I'm sure we're probably still looking at a down 83 right now, down 83 points on the Dow Jones. I actually just ticked it down 80 points. Oil down 66 cents a barrel. I don't know. Do we want to look? Should we look about what we're seeing about gas in Taxofornia?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, $4.06. 4.006 is the average for Taxofornia. And I just saw that I guess there's another tax that starts in Taxofornia on gasoline. Ironically enough, we hear our liberal friends, and obviously the entire state of California is run by liberals, so we can understand why we have such high taxes. The most regressive tax there is, right? I mean, how many really working class folk who are just barely getting by are out there driving that new Tesla? $100,000 car. Are they driving the hybrids? Some. Are they driving the jalopies, the ones that were trying to just get by? Yeah, that's what they're driving right now. Yet Taxofornia keeps adding more and more taxes and fees. I'm not sure the difference between a tax and a fee, other than the fact that they both go to the state government to be wasted. $2.83 is the national average. Again, Taxofornia, we are at $4.06, almost $4.01 a gallon. We lead the country. Yes, indeed, we are the leaders. 45 cents a gallon more than Hawaii. And what is that, $1.50 more than what they're paying in Alabama, what they're paying in Mississippi, what they're paying in Arkansas. $1.50 a gallon more than any of those states. Can you believe it? I wouldn't lie to you. That's what the numbers are saying. Let's look and see what else we've got in the markets. The 10-year Treasury, 2.556. We'll talk more about that in the next segment. We have seen Germany now. They are positive on their 10-year, 0.059. Japan is still negative on theirs, 0.031. So you put 10-year money into Japan for 10 years, you don't even get it back. That is a painful situation if I ever saw one. Yeah, ow, that hurts. Obviously not a pleasant place to put your money. Let's see what's happening in the daily briefing today. Obviously, the biggest news of the weekend, Tiger Woods. Did you watch that yesterday? What a amazing tournament. Unbelievable. Amazing tournament yesterday. Tiger Woods coming back. Talk about persistence, perseverance, never give up attitude. The man had 4 surgeries, 2 knee surgeries, 2 back surgeries. I think that was his 4 surgeries. Might have been 4 on each. I don't know, but a ton of surgery, and still comes back to win probably the most prestigious of all golf tournaments. Now I know there's 4 majors, but I'm going to say that the Masters is probably the most prestigious of all of them. And Tiger comes back and wins it at the end before the bad weather comes in. Now, bad weather would have probably been more of a problem for Tiger than for any of the others. Yeah, I know he's 43 years old, the old man. But when you start tightening up and getting the inclement weather and having to start and stop and those things, it becomes more difficult when you've got a bad back, bad knees. All of those things can play problems with you. Moving right along, I guess we can't talk about Tiger all morning. Maybe we could. So let's see. Back in the news again. Representative Minnesota Ilhan Omar says she's received an influx of death threats since President Trump tweeted a video on Friday that combined comments from the Congresswoman, which critics said were dismissive of the September 11th attacks, with footage from Ground Zero. Now, why would she be blaming the president for that? I mean, it's her comments. He just puts them into a messaging format. Is she upset about her comments? She didn't say anything about her comments, her anti-Semitic terrorist comments being bad. All she said is that she's received death threats, which I don't condone death threats at any time. That's never good. But neither are her comments, right? I mean, she is one of the 2 leaders. She and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, leaders of the Democrat Party, right? One a socialist, one an anti-Semite. That's who's leading the party right now. Nancy Pelosi follows in step with what they tell her to say and what they tell her to do. We already saw that in the vote to condone Ilhan Omar, which did not go through as the speaker wanted it to. So let's watch what's going on there. Tonight, Town Hall, Bernie Sanders is in the news. Yeah, he's the independent, the socialist running for president. He's going to be in a town hall tonight from Pennsylvania, talking about how he's raised $18 million in the first 6 weeks of his campaign. Not a bad number. He's probably got more money than any of his competitors, with the exception of there is one competitor that is beating him. Drum roll, please. Yes, indeed, it is the President of the United States has more than double the amount of money of Bernie Sanders and is actually beating him in his own game. Bernie Sanders talks about it's all these small donations. Well, the average donation for that $40 million, almost $41 million that President Trump has on hand, $34.26. So it is the average working American that is putting their money toward the Trump campaign. They like what he's doing. They like the economy. The media hasn't caught on yet. Maybe they will at some point in time. Moving right along with the daily briefing. Lindsey Graham plans to combat the migration crisis. It's a shame that he'll be doing it only with Republican support. The Democrats like it. I told you why they like it last week. That's just the issue. I mean, we know why the Democrats like it, right? It's pretty simple. They want to flood Texas with a lot of illegals, get them to be voting, and then they won't need to worry about changing the Electoral College. If they have California, Texas, New York, Florida, where they want to send more illegals as well, they won't need to worry about the Electoral College. They won't even need to worry about who's running for Congress or for president. It'll just be the Democrats. But I do like the idea, and apparently the president is contemplating this. Sanctuary cities, if you really are enjoying the illegal immigration, well, let's send them to Nancy Pelosi's district. She likes it. Send them to the Los Angeles area. They like it. Send them to Manhattan, New York. They like it. Send them to Vermont to see Bernie. He likes it. Give them a trip. And I did listen and hear where they said that, well, you can't do that. Well, what's the president supposed to do? He can't keep them locked, which I agree. They can't be locked up. They don't have enough room for them in the border cities. What is the president supposed to do with these people? They keep telling him what they can't do. Not one of them comes up with any solutions as to what they can do. We'll keep watching that for you. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast lined up for you. Questions you need to ask before buying a home. We'll talk about that. Steps for getting out of debt as quickly as possible. Why you should never use a debit card to pay for anything. Target date funds. What are they? The easiest way to start saving for retirement. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air. Number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs. They've got the products for you. You just need to make the phone call. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. So what is happening in the mortgage market? Yes, it was an ugly day on Friday. The markets did, as far as in the mortgage sense, had an ugly day. But why is that happening? So as we do each and every morning, we start out, let's take a look at what the markets are doing now, and then we can figure out where they're going, why they're going there. And again, a lot of what I tell you, or the initial part, the numbers part, you can find that on Google.com. I just tell it to you so you have a foundation of when I get to why it's happening. The Dow Jones now down 72.78. Oil, it's off 75 cents per barrel. The NASDAQ down 35. We'll understand why that is in a minute as well. Netflix fighting with Disney. That's a big issue. Disney being on the Dow Jones, Disney being on the New York Stock Exchange, Netflix being in the NASDAQ number, so the NASDAQ down 35 points. The 10-year Treasury is fairly flat as I speak to you right now. It's zero. It's a no change for the day. 2.55 is the interest or the yield on that 10-year Treasury. I guess you better say the yield because it's not exactly what the way they work it when you're buying it, basically. But here's the issue that the mortgage-backed securities, those are up 2 basis points, and we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the charts of the market. But what's going on? Why are we seeing what's happening? Why is the market behaving the way it's behaving? There's not a lot of news coming out today. We saw last week we broke some technical issues. We've got a very strong economy. Why people are putting their money back into the stock market. When they put their money back into the stock market, because the economy is so strong. Remember I told you Thursday that we had a very low number for the first-time unemployment. Probably going to put some wage pressure coming back in. But this week we are going to get the National Association of Home Builders. They're going to release their housing market index. That's a real-time read of builder confidence because the number is for the month of April. So it gives you a finger on the pulse and is a good forward-looking indicator for other reports. Expecting that to be strong as we think the housing will accelerate into the spring home buying season. Housing starts, they're going to be reported on Friday. We'll show how many starts and permits there were for the month of March. No news today, so when there is minimal news, what do? Well, we have to look to the charts. We look at the technicals because they play an important role when there's not a lot of news. On Friday, the mortgage bonds broke beneath their 25-day moving average, which prompted us to kind of look at what was going on, gave a locking bias at that time. Bonds almost went down to test the next support level at the 50-day moving average. There's still about 8 basis points before bonds would test that level, which means things could get a little bit worse before they get better. Be important to watch if the 50-day bond holds. A 10-year Treasury yield tested 257 as we thought it might after the break above the 25-day moving average. Another very important ceiling to watch if it holds, which it is for the time being. After being tested this morning, we could see some improvement. But if this level is broken to the upside, yields will likely get worse and test the 50-day moving average at 2.60. Now, I did share with you, again, I should say that's the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. I did share with some of you who are on our mailing list, I sent out a message over the weekend about the concept of refinancing and why one might want to refinance. Refinance basically was, should you refinance, yes or no? And there are a lot of reasons. Some people look at it and say, well, you know something, the only reason I would think of refinancing is because I want to see my payment go down. Well, maybe that might be the reason for some people, but I'm going to suggest to you it's not the reason for everybody, and it might not even be a good reason. So let's think about this, and this was the example. If you want the full example, you can get that. I'm going to post it on social media at the break. But here's the issue. You can go to ronsiegelradio.com or facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Here's the issue. What if you could keep your payment the same, lower your interest rate just a little bit, keep your payment the exact same as it is, get a no-cost refinance, and put $10,000 into your pocket? Do you think that might be enticing to some people? Well, the scenario I did for a listener over the weekend was exactly that. They bought a house September 2017. We showed them how by just doing a straight rate and term refinance loan, they'd be able to put $10,000 in their pocket, cut 1 year off the payment term. So based on a 2017 purchase, they're looking at 28 and a half years remaining on their 30-year loan. 28 and a half years. Now, by reducing the payment just by 3/8 of a point on that $300,000 loan, brings their payment down about $77. Now, I said to you before that we want to keep the payment exactly the same as it was before. What does that mean? Well, it means you start paying an extra $77 toward the principal every month. Not a bad idea. Many people could do that. It's not a bad idea to do. Doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't hurt anything. Now, when you do that, the whole concept is that you're going to be cutting down the payment term because you're going to be paying extra principal. So by keeping the payment identical to what it was, the payment will remain and the term gets cut by a year. So instead of paying that off in 28 and a half years, now you're going to cut that payment to 27 and a half years. 27 and a half years. So the payment stays the same, the duration gets cut, and you put $10,000 in your pocket. Is that a problem with you? Most people would say no, they just don't know how to do it. That's why we showed it to you with a full example, and we used the total cost analysis with doing that. Just go to Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. We will share that again to you today. That is the Mortgage Minute. It is being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, 8 steps for getting out of debt as quickly as possible. 3 questions you need to ask before buying a home, and why you should never, ever use a debit card to pay for anything. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel. Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Nest, they're the quickest way I know of for you to get that information. Questions you need to ask before buying a home. If you are debating purchasing a home right now, probably getting a lot of advice. Though your friends and family have your best interests at heart, they may not be fully aware of your needs and what is currently happening in the real estate market. Ask yourself the following 3 questions to help determine if now is a good time for you to buy in today's market. Number 1, why am I buying a home in the first place? This is truly the most important question to answer. Forget the finances for a minute. Why did you even begin to consider purchasing a home? For most, the reason has nothing to do with money. For example, a study by Realtor.com found that 73% said buying in a good school district was, quote-unquote, important in their search. This report supports, easy for me to say, a study by the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University, which revealed that the top 4 reasons Americans buy a home have nothing to do with money. The actual reasons are a good place to raise children and provide them with a good education, a place where you and your family feel safe, more space for you and your family, control of that space. What does owning a home mean to you? What 9 financial benefits will you and your family gain from owning a home? The answer to that question should be the biggest reason you decide not to purchase or to purchase, either one. Number 2, where are home values headed? According to the latest existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the median price of homes sold in February, the latest data available, this is a national number, $249,500. This is up 3.6% from last year. The increase also marks the 84th consecutive month with year-over-year gains. 84th consecutive month, 7 years in a row. Looking at home prices year over year, CoreLogic is forecasting an increase of 4.6%. In other words, a home that costs you $250,000 today will cost you an additional $11,500 if you wait until next year to buy it. What's that mean to you? Simply put, with prices increasing, it may cost you more if you wait until next year to buy. Your down payment will also need to be higher in order to account for the higher price of the home you wish to buy. Number 3, where are mortgage interest rates headed? A buyer must be concerned about more than just prices. The long-term cost of a home can be dramatically impacted by even a small increase in mortgage rates. Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors have all projected that mortgage interest rates will increase over the next 12 months, as you can see in the chart I shared earlier on social media. So what does the chart say? The words eye view of the chart. Mortgage rate projections. According to Freddie Mac, the second quarter of 2019, Freddie Mac 4.5, Fannie Mae 4.4, MBA 4.5, NAR 4.3, average of 4.43. If you will remember, last Thursday we told you Freddie Mac's number was 4.12. It was up from 4.08 last week. and 4.06 the week before. Now let's look a year out, the end of the first quarter 2020. Freddie Mac says 4.7, Fannie Mae says 4.4, MBA 4.7, NAR 4.5 with an average of 4.58. The bottom line, only you and your family will know for certain if it is now the right time to purchase a home. Answering these questions will obviously help you make that decision. That's why we sit here and just pose the questions for you. We want you to understand, what are you looking at? What is coming down the line? What makes sense for you and your family? That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again, brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. I say text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. They are the best source I know of to get information. There's no advertising on there, so it's not like going to some of the major national sites where you're going to get a bunch of advertising and get bombarded with phone calls. No, that's not the way this program works. That's not the way the Nest program works. But one of the things that it does do that I really like is it is the quickest one to get you the information. I have tested it against when agents put the same property, they put it on the MLS, which is basically where everything starts. It's on the MLS. Then you get all the syndicators and the aggregators that all get that information there. And they're going to that source, and they automatically pull that in and put it into Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and all the others. But Nest seems to get it quickest, or at least they get it published, turned around the quickest, and they send it to you by text message. Do the others? No. Where are we talking today? We're all talking via text. Just a thought out there for you. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. So I thought I'd share with you. We did this for realtors over the last week. And these are the 5 questions every buyer and seller is asking today. Let's see if we can try and maybe answer some of them for you, just so that you are of the understanding of where the marketplace really is. So let's first off get to it, because part of this has really, when you understand where the market is, where maybe you are, it might help you. A lot of people have uncertainty right now. That leads to confusion, right? They don't know, is the market going up? Is the market going down? Are we going into a recession? Are we not going into a recession? What are the geopolitical effects? What's the government doing? What's the Federal Reserve doing? What's the president doing? What's the Congress doing? All kinds of stuff coming at you all the time leads to confusion. Well, when you're confused, what happens? We get concerned, right? We don't know what to do. We don't know how to assimilate all that information. Sometimes, being that we don't know how to assimilate it all, we just get scared, called fear. Fear, if it gets excessive, will turn into panic. And what does panic do? Causes paralysis. We end up doing absolutely nothing. We just stay put where we are. So what will actually happen to home prices in 2019? I told you that a little bit ago, that what we're really seeing is home prices seem to be going up. Every one of the sources that we talk to tells us that home prices are going to go up in 2019. They're going to go up in 2020. Even if we have, a pullback in the economy, which that is in question. There's a lot of economists who say, no, there's no pullback coming. Some say there might be, but it might be very, very weak, and you may not even know that it happens before it's over. Why wouldn't you know that it happened before it's over? Well, it's very simple. The way we define that as economists is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. So we haven't even had one yet. We're still looking at a 2.3. Generally, the first quarter is generally the slowest of all quarters. So, and I think we came up with a 2.3 this last time, was the GDP on the first quarter 2019. That's going to still be revised a bit, but it's still positive. So we know that we're at least 7 or 8 months or 9 months from even finding out about something like this, if there were a economic slowdown. Some people call it a recession, but we're really not even in that ballpark yet. So why would you not know it? Well, because by definition, you don't find out about it until 3 months after the second of the quarters that were negative GDP. So you're 9 months out, and by that time, you may have already started turning around. We'll see. Will mortgage rates hit 5% again in the second half of this year? Well, we just talked about that one, that the Mortgage Bankers Association, the Freddie Mac, NAR, and Fannie Mae, none of them are looking at a 5% interest rate. None of them are projecting 5%. Now, you may get that based on what your unique situations. Remember, there's 37 different loan level price adjustments. And I can tell you this, as an investor, I'm not really too concerned with interest rates. Why? Well, the higher interest rates go, what does that tell us about the economy when interest rates are going up? Well, it tells us the economy is doing better. If the economy is doing better, then that goes back to number one. Prices are going to continue to appreciate. And I'm only paying that 5% or 6% or 7%. I bought a house at 18% in my history. So why don't I look at it now? Because there are other things that are more important to me. What is the total bottom line? Interest rates are just one piece of the puzzle. So I'm not really that interested. That's not going to be the driving force of my decision. How will a possible recession impact the housing market? Well, most of the time, recessions do not impact the housing market. Yes, it did in 2008. That's the most recent. But generally, we don't see a effect of a recession on the housing market. It doesn't happen. Are lending standards too lenient? Well, compared to what? I've told you many, many times, I was a lender in the 90s, in the 2000s. 2005, you could fog a mirror, you get a loan. Pizza delivery boy, he just says that makes $20,000 a month, write it down on the piece of paper, good, you're good to go. That's not where we are today. And we're seeing that people are taking money out of their properties at a much slower pace. They're not using their home as an ATM for the next vacation, the next fancy car, the next fancy boat. They're using that money to do some home improvements. Is home ownership still part of the American dream? Absolutely. There is no source out there that does not tell us that we are not still seeing the American dream is not still right there. I just thought ran across this screen right here. Home price percentage appreciation going forward. The one I love the most is the home price expectation survey, because that takes into account 100 or more economists, bankers, industry professionals. 2019, they project a 4.3% appreciation in home prices. 2020, 2.8. 2021, 2.5. 2022, 3.0. Good information. That's what we're looking at right there. We'll continue this conversation when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We'll also talk about steps for getting out of debt as quickly as possible and why you should never, ever use a debit card to pay for anything. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. In the Your Credit Matters segment today, being brought to you by Blue Water Credit. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Blue Water has the solutions for you. They're the only one I send folks to. They're the ones that are the go-to company. Jeff Sipes and his team do a great job in taking a look at your credit report, finding out what the status is, what is it that may or may not be accurate on the report. That's the key thing. We're always looking for accuracy. Is the report correct? Is it got errors on there? And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, every one of them has errors. I've never seen a completely accurate credit report. I've been looking at them for a long time. What are these steps for getting out of debt as quickly as possible? There are a few things. Quite as liberating as getting out of debt after having been in the negative for a while. Millions of Americans are facing an uphill battle, but almost anyone can be debt-free with a few tried and true steps. We're going to walk through the steps that will allow you to get out of debt instead of a long, drawn-out process that takes forever before you see results. These methods are ready to be put into action immediately. That means you can be debt-free sooner rather than later. How to get out of debt? Money strategies that work. American consumers get out of debt for more than 2 decades with this same sage financial advice. It says that when it comes to being debt-free, first you need a plan in place. Text RSR budget to 79564, RSR budget to 79564. Get the free financial legacy tool that we have there for you. Can't get out of debt until you have a roadmap to do it. So the first thing you have to do is figure out where every dollar is going and what of that you can reduce so that you free up the money to pay on your debts. Let's start with all the important first steps. Number one, figure out where your money is going. First, you have to look at your overall finances. What's your income? Where is all of that money going? The key to figuring out where every dollar is spent is to create a list or inventory that shows all your bills and credit card accounts. Make sure you have included the interest rates for each card. Again, RSR budget to 79564. And creating a list that shows your interest rates from highest to lowest, you can clearly see which credit card you need to pay first, the one with the highest interest rate. Here are 2 questions that I say you need to ask yourself at this stage. What's my income? What am I spending on a monthly basis? You can use a notebook, spreadsheet, but you need to write it down. I like that budget tool I've shared with you. Answering these 2 questions is crucial to reconciling in your mind what the steps are for to become financially solvent again. First step toward creating a budget. Number 2, calculate your debt. Once you take a good hard look at how much money you're bringing in and how much you owe, your debt-to-income ratio will be crystal clear. I say then that's when it's time to make a key decision to get out of debt. Then you come up with a plan based on the debt you have. This is not a rhetorical exercise. You need to literally write down a timetable that shows how many months or years it will take to pay it off and how much it will take per month toward that payment. Number 3, set a goal. Next, you need to come up with a goal because everyone's financial journey is different. Your goals will vary. The key to it all is to be realistic. The last thing you need to do is set a super stringent benchmark that deprives you of basic meals and necessities. I say goals are so important because without them, there is no accountability. It's like when someone says, I really should be saving money, and they're guilt tripping themselves. Let's say that they make enough money and they should be saving money, but they're not. They're not going to change their behavior unless they have a goal. So you have to set a goal. So you have a roadmap to get where out of debt is. What's next? Once you've got the roadmap in place, you need to employ some cost-cutting strategies that will actually show you or allow you to reach your goal sooner. Number 4, get help with your debt. At this point, you might be overwhelmed with what you've learned about your situation so far. It's time to take a step back. Don't think for a second that you're sinking in debt all alone. Millions of Americans face a similar situation. If you're struggling to pay off your debts, you might contact the Consumer Credit Counseling Service. This organization offers free credit counseling, a debt management service for a small monthly fee, depending on the state. You can visit them at nfcc.org to find a CCC, a credit counseling services office near you. Number 5, transfer your credit card balances. The next step to see if you can reduce the amount you're paying to your creditors. When it comes to your credit cards, hopefully you're paying at least the minimum amounts due each month and not skipping any payments. If you do not do those 2 things, you're likely to be saddled with even higher interest rates. One reason your payment may be so high is because you're paying hefty interest charges. To reduce them, take advantage of credit cards with low introductory rates. The key is to pay it off or do so a balance transfer before the rate expires. Sell your old stuff online is number 6. Once you've taken care of that, look for ways to earn extra money. Who says you have to have a garage to have a garage sale? The largest marketplaces are online. So what better way to sell your old items? Look around your house in the attic or basement and gather what you don't need. Today there are scores of websites that let you upload items to sell. Number 7, boost your income at the same time. See if you can put your skills and time to work to boost your income to help you line your pockets. There are some easy ways to make money. If you can't find a way to make some supplemental income from your selling your old items, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I might have some tricks for you. Freshen up that resume. Apply for a second job. It could even be a temporary job just to get some more money rolling in. Once you've climbed yourself out of the financial hole, you may be in a better position to pay your debts. Start an emergency savings fund. Finally, it's time to start thinking about what you would do if the economy goes south or you run into unexpected expenses. The number 1 way to recession-proof your life is to have an emergency fund, or as I call it sometimes, an oops fund. If you don't have savings, then you're not prepared for the oops in life, because oops happen all different types, sizes, and a lot of times we're not in a position. Final thought, Nobody likes to think about debt, even if sometimes it keeps us awake at night. Debt is not going to go away by itself, so facing it sooner rather than later is vital to your peace of mind. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by our friends over at Blue Water Credit. Hey, here's the issue why you should never use a debit card. I was sharing this with you. Banks love to pitch debit cards as a way to avoid spending money you don't have. But there are many reasons why you should never use a debit card as a form of payment, as tempting as it might be. What are the dangers? Dangers are tied to your checking account, let you make purchases while avoiding the interest charges you might face if you use a credit card. That's why budget-conscious consumers who don't want to charge up a card they can't afford to pay are constantly being pushed to debit card. But there's a big problem. What happens if a criminal compromises your debit card? I'd say, something, if you have to use a cash card only, go to the Square Cash Card. It's much, much easier. Debit cards versus credit cards, consumer protections. Under the federal law, a debit card does not have the same protections that a credit card does. I think I'm going to get into more of this tomorrow because I don't have enough time today because we're running out of time. Bottom line is, don't use the debit card ever. It is a bad idea. We might chat about that again, like I say, tomorrow. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.